Okay, good day. Welcome back to the Minneapolis Moline RTE engine teardown, part 2, day 3. As you can see, I already got the jugs off of the engine. I did film all that. That was done yesterday. So as soon as I'm done talking here, you'll get to go back and watch that while I struggle with other things. After I got the jugs out, I filled them with penetrating oil on the bottom of the pistons and then let it sit for 24 hours, and now I'm back again and I've got them flipped over, and I added some more penetrating oil to the top, and we're gonna let it sit for a while. And then right now I'm working on removing the studs for the head. I need to get all of those out of the way so that I can get in and see if I can drive those pistons down through the bottom. It's the only way that they'll go. Unlike other engines, they have to be put in through the bottom and taken out through the bottom. And there's really no access for a press, which is going to really make this difficult. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I'm still working on ideas. I think 2 of them will come out relatively easily, and then 2 of them are going to be a battle. And the problem is, I think I found replacement heads already, just on some preliminary searches via eBay. But I need the pistons, and they have to come out unbroken so I can clean them up and reuse them. So that's the goal for tonight, is to just get the studs out and then start messing with these pistons and see if we can't get all of the pistons out. Once we have all the pistons out, then we really get into just cleanup mode, getting everything cleaned really well, getting all the engine surfaces clean. And again, like I said yesterday, I haven't even started sourcing gaskets or anything like that. So the tail end of this video is going to be pretty much just getting some of this ready to go again, to be reinstalled, and then determining what needs to be done with the water pump to get that back into usable shape, or determine if we have to go source another one. So, while I work on getting these studs out, you guys get to go back and watch me pull the jugs off. See you in a little bit. Just 4 3/4 inch nuts, 1 for each pair, and they're a little bit tough to get at. You got to have a swivel. Okay. So on cylinder 2, the intake valve is stuck open. And I think that's been stuck for a while, long before I had the water problem. It's always something that I meant to come in and do and never did, and this has just given me the opportunity to fix that too. So I guess it's a good thing it happened. But that does mean that this set is loose, and there we go. Out it comes. Now we got to remember what order it went in. This goes to 2. Funny, these have lock washers, the other ones didn't. Can't get it now. Well, let's get this out of the way first. There we go. Alright, that's done. So now I just have to finish taking the 6 head bolts off the other side, jug bolts, whatever, and then I'll have to get the engine hoist in here to pull these up off. I was going to wait and bring the engine hoist in, but I'm going to try muscling it out. And if it goes poorly, I'll just edit it out. You'll never know that I even attempted, and I'll bring the engine hoist in. But this one is loose, and I think I can potentially muscle it out. Well, I have to get past the wires first. Making a mess on the floor again. That's one. They're both loose. They're just bearing. 4. Okay, we'll get you a look inside the cylinders. That is cylinder 1. That is cylinder 2. This is the jug that I was hoping I was going to be able to reuse, but I am very nervous that we also have a crack in number 1 because there's a lot of moisture that got into 1 for some reason. Okay, we interrupt your regularly scheduled viewing of the jug removal because I think we've got a little bit of progress here. Oh yeah, that time it moved. I guess a little bit, yeah. we're making progress. Cool. Let's see if this one will budge. Oh yeah. That one's moving now too. That's two. 3 of them out. And this is cylinder number 4. This is the one that really got wet. So it started to move and then it bound up. I was able to drive it back down a little bit. I'm going to take sandpaper and see if I can clean this wall up so that hopefully we can flip it over and pound it out. Third glove I've gone through tonight. Number 4.
That is quite annoying.
Oh, so close. It's gonna let go any minute now. Okay, we're on the final stud here. So we'll just get it cracked loose. There it goes. That's it. All the head studs and all the intake manifold studs. Okay, now we're moving on to removing the valves. I already got one out, as you can see. The way this is done is you compress the spring, and then there's a tapered half moon collar on each side that you take off, and then you release the spring, and then you can slide the spring off and you can push the valve out. And that little collar looks like this. There's 2 sides to it. So I've already got that one out, and then I'll try to position the camera so you can see me taking another one out. The one thing I thought was kind of neat about how they oiled the valves, so they've got a line that runs from jug to jug, and it actually runs through the crankcase to get into the second jug, and then up the line, and then there's these really sharp little dispensing needles that sit right above that valve, and it just kind of spurts oil back into that valve and spring set on each side, and that's how it keeps it lubricated. Okay, so we get the clamp compressor over the top, Get it seated on that spring. There. So that locks over the top. And it allows you to get this tapered collar off. Get it unstuck. And it's off. Alright, now we can let the pressure back off. The spring comes off. And that one is stuck a little bit. There it goes. There we go. And again, I get to just repeat the process for the other 6. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, you can see we moved outside. This is going to get a little messy, so I didn't want to do it in the shop. But basically, I need to seal off this water pump passage to seal the back of this jug so that I can fill it with water and see if I can find the leak inside, if there is one. This is the jug that I'm hoping is good. Basically, you've got one port on the back where the water pump sits, and then on the front of the jug you've got where the head sits, and that's the other side of the circulatory system. So if I can plug this side, then I can flip it over and hopefully be able to fill it all the way up without a leak. So that is the goal here, and I'm going to do it really quick and crude. Basically, I've got a piece of rubber that I cut out. That's going to go right here over the hole, and then I've just found a metal flat piece of steel, drilled a couple holes in it, and that's going to press the rubber down to seal it. And then we just throw a couple bolts in where the water pump bolts go. Line that rubber up so we can get it to seal. Quick and crude, so I oversized one of the holes to make sure I could get this one to thread in easily as well. And just use a washer to get it in place there, and we'll snug it up. Okay, that should seal it, and we'll flip it over. And we're just going to fill the cylinder head passage, let it fill up, and then see if we can get it to fill all the way up without leaking. Press this in so we don't have to hold it. So I'm filled up right to the top where the head goes on. I've got water sitting right here, I can see it. I guess I'm not quite all the way up on the front side. I don't know if that'll be an issue or not. Maybe I got to tip it up a little bit. I'd like to be able to fill it up all the way around to make sure I don't have anything leaking back in, especially around those valves, which right now looks good. There it is coming out the front, the bottom of where the cylinder head goes. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think I have a problem in this cylinder head. The moisture that did get in there probably came down the exhaust or the air intake from the other valve that was having the problem. So that would make sense. I think I'm only looking for one head, one jug. But we'll repeat the process on the other one and see if we can find where the problem actually lies. Okay, here we are. We've got the other jugs set up. I've got my plugs in those stud holes. I've got that piece of rubber that I showed you on the bottom here, and I already poured a little bit in, so I already know where it is. Let me see if I can get you in a good spot to see it. We're going to try that right there. And that is the exhaust valve on cylinder 4. And you can see it run right out of that sidewall. That was it. That's what made all the trouble. That jug is shot. Okay, so that's the end of day 5, and it's also going to be the end of part 2 of the teardown. The next step is, now that I know what I need for parts, I can start looking for parts. And the next video is probably going to be just focused on getting everything cleaned up and ready to get put back together once I get another jug. And so that may be the next video that I post. It may not be. I've got some other projects in mind too that I want to get a start on, very Minneapolis Moline related. So if you're enjoying the content, stick with it. Please subscribe to those of you that have. I'm almost over 100, so thank you very much. And as always, take your foot off the clutch. Thanks, everybody.